What is going on? I'm zmoT. New curtain intro drop. You've already got code zmoT in your shop. Don't need to remind you about that. So we're going to jump into Warships. And if you didn't see my video yesterday, just skip it. It was basically just me getting punched in the face over and over and over and over and over and over again. If you haven't seen that Marshawn Lynch interview, it's fantastic. Anyways, this is where we're at. So yesterday, I had spent like 220 keys and I didn't even have Heavy Choppas yet, didn't have Bombardiers yet. So any people who used those 220 keys to get artillery or shock mines or an extra shock launcher or rocket launchers or heavies or sniper towers or the extra troop like, there were so many people who had more tech than me, and all of them were crushing me. And it was infuriating and frustrating, especially when they were bad players beating me, and it made me sad. But now we're at the part where the win streak has started. We are using Bullit with his shock knuckles. We are using Heavy Choppas with tick 1 heavies. Yes, that's a thing. And we're going to see how this goes. And we're going to hope that we can use Bombardiers as a gateway drug. Well, more on that in a second. But first and foremost, do make sure you're dropping these things well. Pretty please. It is not hard to drop Bombardiers, but every season I see people do it poorly. And what that means is we are going to flare that. Then we are going to drop our 2 Bombardiers, which have an active flare. That is important. And then as soon as that starts to go down, we are going to drop more Bombardiers, which means they will stay out of the range of that puppy over there. More Heavy Choppas, and now we're going to get this shock out here. We're going to get some shock knuckles rocking and rolling. We're going to get some critters out, and then everything should be Gucci, as they say on the television. Shock Knuckles not really doing a heck of a lot over there in that corner, but we can get some of these puppies out. We can get all of our troops moving forward. Probably want to get a med kit down there because there are some mines in our way. I'm probably over-shocking that grappler because it's grabbing silly things that we don't really care about. But at this point, our Heavy Choppas are taking the shots from those, what are those things called? The Doom Cannons. Don't really care because we're getting heavies out of the deal. And now look at this, the Bombardiers chucking over that gap. That is fantastic news. Down goes the Doom Cannon. All of our troops coming in hot now as they walk through all of this stuff. You'll notice that we have not done anything fancy on this attack. All we've done so far is throwing out med kits. We're about to get some more critters out because of all of those gosh darn mines. Mines this season, I don't remember mines being a bigger deal on any other season, but our Bombardiers, and this has been a terrible attack, by the way. Like, this is not even close to a good attack, and we're still crushing all of this base. Realistically, we need to be probably, I would guess, somewhere in the neighborhood of 220 to get any sort of good win. Now we can just flare over onto there. We'll throw a shock here, and then finally getting a barrage onto that final engine room. Not a good hit. My Bombardiers hits have a long way to go. Do consider subscribing so that we can show you some better Bombardiers hits in the days to come. Chaotic Warlord, though, is gonna be slower than us. This base, I am almost certain was made by Nightwada. This might be the Kron Howard base. Regardless, just do check the leaderboards frequently for people with good bases. And this season a little bit more, like typically I look for people with like a 60% win rate and pick those. But there's a lot of people who have like a 48% win rate with very good bases. So have a look at them, see what you can come up with, and we're heating up, folks. I need a better soundboard. I wish I could have like an auto soundboard that knew exactly what I was thinking. Some of you out there heard that in your heads though, right? Like, he's heating up. NBA Jam something? Maybe that was like I used to play a lot of like knockoff games too that were like Jordy Michaels and Jerry Bird or something. Anyways, moving, that's before, back when those games used to exist. Shareware, possibly? Let's get Mr. Bullit out. We're going to get you out and 2 of you. And then as soon as that starts to happen, you know what? We might as well get you out. You and you and you and you. All of the troops staying low on those ramps should drastically help our chances of getting our troops in and amongst the things. Just need Bullit to get his shock knuckles moving, and there will be no shock knuckles teleporting here, not intentionally anyways. That is definitely a thing this season, especially with rocket choppas, but you won't see me doing it simply unless sometimes it happens by accident, but you won't see me doing it on purpose anyways, just because that is not ideal. It's a good way to piss people off, and I try to avoid pissing people off. We are gonna BART out the rocket launchers that are flanking our troops. That is where I highly recommend using the majority of your GBE, is just to get rid of those things that are flanking your troops. The things that are right in front of you don't have to worry quite so much about. We are going to get rid of all of these mines though, because I don't think Bullit's going to get off another shock knuckles, which would have been very handy, as he is stuck in mid-air. There he goes. Little bit of usefulness, not a heck of a lot. Our times are gonna be slow, but decent, and that's all that matters. At the 7 engine room base, people will clear you every single time. You are, at least at my tech level, I'm gonna go back and get critter launchers as soon as I get that next troop damage. That next troop damage I am very excited about, but for now it's gonna be all about getting these bases cleared, getting back into Diamond, and moving on forwards, because Bombardiers really are that game changer this season, but you've seriously gotta suffer to get there. What was my high on this account? Let's see, where was I? I was sitting up at 21.20, not super high, but definitely higher than I am right now. You can see the exact second right there that I lost my last battle. Didn't even notice SE in there, to be honest. I was literally just force closing halfway through the attack, just trying to get engine rooms. And right here is when I got those Bombardiers. Finally, we're back in 20. Things are cruising along at the right clip. So I don't know when was the best time to move to 7. By the way, moving to 7, even without Heavy Choppas and Bombardiers, maybe you want to save and move later. But for me, getting used to the bases was actually kind of helpful. So also reminding myself to get these drops going. We're going to get 2 Bombardiers there and 1 there. And where the flag is does not matter. Just a reminder. It doesn't matter where the heck you put your flag, because your troops are gonna, come on, shock knuckles. There we go. Using the teleport to our advantage. It's a little bit scary when you get Bullit grabbed, but oftentimes there are good options once Bullit has been grabbed. So we are going to send all of our troops willy-nilly, just sending them wide. They've got more health than laser rangers. We don't have to worry about them going in random spots quite so much. And the fact that Bullit has already shock knuckled a couple times, we just lost some GBE, unfortunately, but our number one concern, as we've talked about, is this right over there. Those buildings that are flanked across, and so we should be okay still, because they are going to shoot across that gap, which is going to make those doom cannons and rocket launchers far less dangerous, which I'm very excited about. You can see that our what are those things called? Heavy Choppas not doing a heck of a lot for us as far as the heavies they drop, but they're definitely providing a meat shield against all sorts of other range defenses. So yes, we're gonna rush in and get right through there, trying to get our troops onto that final engine room as we throw our final bits of GBE towards it. Machine guns probably gonna eat them up a little bit, but the kamikaze flare is always so good. 60% of the time it works every time. Michu 81 getting crushed by our Bombardier Heavy Chopper combo. And I'm not certain on the proper ratio, if it's 3 to 5 to Bullit, or if it's can go down to 2 to 6 or 4 to 4, but for right now, 3 and 5 is working fairly well. I need to spend some tokens on that GBE back there, and probably this GBE up here. 2.6 million tokens is a lot, and man, I just can't wait for that troop damage, though. I'm not sure if I'll be able to push into, even if I push into 22, I'll end up getting 25. I'll be 2 keys short of that, so likely need to wait for my timed chest. Gonna go troop damage next, and then after that, probably back for critter launchers. Critter launchers give you more bang for your buck against bombardiers, against seekers, than rocket launchers do. So that is my plan of attack. And then once that's done, if we can get into 150% troop health, probably gonna bring seekers back. But in order to bring seekers back, probably need to have our good friends, the heavies, maxed out. So we are going to drop, we're going to do one more hit just because why the heck not. 1, 2 there, and then I'm going to bring Bullit over on this side, and then same deal over on this side. As soon you want to drop your troops while that flare is still active is fairly important. Bullit's going to do nothing over on that far side, but getting him moving in the right direction is my only goal at the moment. Those grapplers with the critter launchers do so much value. Don't discount the fact that they've just got critter launchers sitting next to them. That is exactly why those doom cannons, grapplers exist, because they want to pull your troops in the middle, get all sorts of critter launchers going, and bad things happen when they have the ability to do so. So next up, gonna save some GBE because we need to shock that doom cannon and that rocket launcher across the way, but I'm not quite sure we're gonna get there in time. Thankfully, Bullit and the gang is slightly ahead of us, so we should be able to get a shock there. Bullit, I think, just maybe got his shock knuckles out finally after sitting on it for a good few minutes. Not a lot to go over in this. Really, as long as you're dropping your troops well, that is job number 1. And even if you don't drop them well, they're still going to be able to clear things. So I know I rag on certain things. Like, here we go. Come on, Bullit, shock knuckles. Yeah, the teleport. So it is possible, but I still don't recommend doing it because anyone watching that replay is going to be unhappy. Is it part of the game? Is it not part of the game? Is it cheating? You guys let me know. Was that foul play? I try not to do it, but sometimes just to... and by the way, it's super easy to do now. As soon as that building's about to explode, just click the button. Takes some practice to get the timing down, but nonetheless, like you can see here, we are going to pick up yet another win. Moving back in the right direction. Wish I could have some chests sitting there to claim in Diamond, but I needed every single possible chest just to stop the bleeding, just to stop the pain. Back on the upswing. A good game to SE. Can't remember if I said that or not, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins in a row, all by just dropping bombardiers and babysitting them a little teeny tiny bit. That's all for me, though. You know what? Let's do an op hit. I've got an op hit available. I know this is the wrong... Ooh, how much time left? 1 hour 12. I'm not going to do this op hit. We will, however, do this one. This one, a little bit fewer consequences. Circuit board is one of my favorite bases, assuming that nope, this is not the base. You know what? Let's do circuit board. Back to the laser rangers. I love anytime you can use laser rangers on an op hit. It is just a great time. So let's give them a go. Also because this one is very much one directional, where you're just walking straight through all of the things. A little bit of smoke will definitely make your circuit board attacks go a little bit better. I tend to use Zookas with bombardiers on this one just because it makes things go well. You know what? I kind of want to use... No, we're not going to use shock knuckles. We'll use taunt. Let's just walk through this thing. I don't know that I'm going to finish it because there is a laser up there and a shock launcher up there and 6 rocket launchers, and laser rangers don't exactly have the most amount of health or damage, but you know what? We're going to give it the old try. I tried not to say college try there for whatever reason. That phrase has been stuck in my head of late. All of our troops out front. A Bullit hopefully gets out front. Let's get back out there. We're going to throw a shock there, and then a shock over across the way as our laser rangers just explode out of this. I don't know that it's going to be enough though. Need to get one more shock, need Bullit to get back out front, and then hopefully these laser rangers and Bullit and the gang get that damage going. Bullit is not going to get his taunt out, I don't think, which means that laser is going to shoot right through our ladies. Bullit and the gang going in the wrong direction. Come on, Bullit, get onto that, whatever the heck that thing's called, power core. Need Bullit to get over there. Might as well throw some critters back there to try and distract those rocket launchers for a couple seconds, and then maybe, just maybe, I kind of want to flare back, but I don't think that I can. These laser rangers are not going to shoot through the rockets, which is less than ideal, but we should still be able to have Bullit pick up enough health that shouldn't matter all that much. The problem is we're not going to be able to do enough damage. Those shield gens back there are not going to get taken down by our laser rangers. Those rocket launchers are also not going to get taken down, which means that we're going to end up, yes, clearing this, but not doing anywhere near the damage that I was hoping to get, unfortunately. So that right there is, we're in a 50-person task force. It's going to leave someone else. It can't be avoided, though. That is definitely a sad trombone. Yes, we could, and the problem was we couldn't flare our troops backwards because there are just too many mines around the core. So Bullit is going to keep doing his best Bullit impression, but as soon as he's dead, which is like 3, 2, 1 now, those rocket launchers are just going to go. This is like me in Warships yesterday, where I was just getting absolutely pummeled, watching my laser rangers just get melted. So that is going to be it for me today, ending it on a bit of a sad note, but also a fun note. Laser rangers on ops, especially when you've got 46 attackers left, can be very, very fun. Low Point, another great base where you can just walk through all of that, clearing everything, but you just have to be aware that you need to get all sorts of damage because those shields are not going to get touched by your troops. That's it for me. Let me know what you thought about the curtain, if you've been getting more crashes, and what you think about that Bullit teleport hack cheat mechanic part of the game. I'm zmoT. Thanks for coming in. Peace.